Hey guys, Stephen Bogren here. Today, what I want to talk about is being comfortable in your own skin. So hey guys, happy Thursday. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful week thus far. Today I'm going to get a little bit off the beating path, maybe go a little bit more, in here and in here kind of today. I think it's something that, a lot of the times we overlook, and it gets lost in translation, and it can be kind of difficult. And it's not an easy thing to talk about, it's not an easy thing to accept, and it's not an easy thing to work on. But I think that when we get it, it helps us to be so much happier and more fulfilled in our lives. And so that's just the idea of being comfortable in your own skin, loving yourself. And so I think that for a lot of people, that might mean a lot of different things. But for me, that means, loving myself regardless of the situation, loving who I am regardless of, what life is happening, what's going on, and being okay with being the person that I am. And so for me, that means a couple of different things. It means being very comfortable with the fact that I'm kind of awkward, I'm kind of off, I'm kind of out there sometimes, right? I definitely think it's funny to make people feel uncomfortable, and so that can definitely be a thing. Sorry, Paul, about the dad jokes. Not sorry. But it's one of those things that, when we get that down, we get to be who we are more often. And so for me, being comfortable in my own skin means being comfortable not only with how I look, my face, my voice, the things that I do, music, motorcycles, jiu-jitsu, working out, off season, on season, whatever that might be. But it also means being comfortable and accepting of, the emotions that I have. Sorry guys, I'm not completely dead inside. I do in fact have emotions sometimes. So if you ever see me watching my clients compete, you can see it all over my face. I'm not good at hiding my emotion. I've always been a kind of heart on my sleeve kind of guy. And so I think that this comes into a thought process that I see a lot of people, I think, struggle with in the fitness industry in general, because it's so cultivated with social media. Everybody's cultivating an image. We're all trying to tell somebody who we are, but we never really get to tell everybody everything about who we are, right? So quite often it turns into this highlight reel, my strengths only the things I'm good at. And by all means, I'm probably just as guilty about this as anybody else. But I made a post on the Instagram earlier today, and, instead of being a highlight reel, why don't we highlight real, R-E-A-L. I think sometimes that's important. You don't have to do it all the time, because obviously if we do it too much when we're going through hardships, we don't come off as real, we come off as a complainer, right? Yeah, life's hard, dude, absolutely, you're right. There are definitely some shitty situations that we're going to go through. You're going to be hurt, you're going to be sad. Unfair things are going to happen to you. Things that are out of your control are going to happen to you. But at some point we have to understand that is life. That happens for everybody. At some point we have to say, well, these are the things that are important to me. There's still a lot of other great parts about life. There's still other things I enjoy. I have to get up and keep working to make things better, right? So we don't want to get stuck in showing the negative either, because it's very easy to get into that rut. And it's really easy to get in a rut on both sides of the spectrum. And so I think that that's really the hard part, is to find what for each of us seems to be a good balance, right? Because at the end of the day, if we never put ourselves out there, we can't really truly make a positive difference to anyone. I have to be vulnerable in my weaknesses and my shortcomings. I have to be open about what's going on in those things, or the things that I've struggled with or come through, for somebody else to be able to see that. So if there's any chance at somebody else hopefully taking something positive from my negative life experiences, right, I have to be open and willing to share that. And so I think that being in your own skin, yes, there's a lot to be said for the physicality of that, right? The physiology of, I'm comfortable where I'm at, I'm comfortable at this weight, I'm comfortable with how I look. Like, I feel good about myself, I feel attractive, and I feel wanted, and I feel valued. Yes. But at the same point, I don't think that, you know, those things are exclusive to feeling that way about ourselves because of how we look. I'm not about body shaming. I am about health. Yes, there are definitely some health things. We want to be in healthy weight ranges. We want to have good blood triglycerides. We want to have good blood pressure. We want to have good, you know, fasting and blood glucose levels and A1C levels. We want to be healthy. Yes, you can be healthy at a wide variety of different body types, okay? Some people can absolutely be what they call a fit fat, right? They have more body fat than what you would expect them to have, but they still have really good blood markers. All their signs of health are in really good order. Now, maybe that's not everybody. Absolutely not, yes. But again, health over here, right? Health is something different. But I think when we really get down to the nitty-gritty, the brass tacks, loving ourselves, being comfortable with who we are, yeah, the outside can most certainly help. Yes, the outside can most certainly make an impact. But when it comes to our feelings about ourselves, remember, those are inside. So by all means, yes, focus on fitness. Get fit. Lose that 5, 10 pounds, whatever the goal is, right? Lose that 50, 60 pounds, whatever the goal is, right? Do those things for your health. Do those things for yourself as challenges. Do those things to help structure, because yes, some of those outwardly things absolutely can make very big inward changes in terms of the way I live my life, the way I see myself, the perception I have, my work ethic, my ability to push through difficult situations. Yes, that's why I love prep. That's why I love bodybuilding. It's taught me much more about myself than I ever thought it would. However, at the end of the day, when it comes to being comfortable in your own skin, riding that balance of good things and bad things, openness and honesty, it's all on the inside. It's a very, very mental, psychological thing. And it's something that I think a lot of time, unfortunately, gets overlooked. We get caught up, especially in this day and age, again, the idea of who we are supposed to be instead of who we are. So at the end of the day, guys, point being, to learn to be comfortable in your own skin, for me, one of the things that I've had to become comfortable with is being comfortable with who I actually am instead of who I think everybody has wanted me to be. So I hope that gets across to some of you guys today. Hope you're having a great day, and I will leave it there. Back to our regularly scheduled program with dorky, sciencey, other kinds of shits soon enough.